Hey, everybody. Welcome to a live edition of Reels Talk with Amanda and Omar. Maddie will be joining us soon. She just had to take care of a few car things. So, as soon as she's done with that, she's going to be coming back on. But I know everyone's here today because we are talking about the three MCU movies that are coming out for sure in 2019. Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, which we got that amazing trailer yesterday, which was awesome. And of course, Spider-Man Far From Home, which we should be getting this afternoon, hopefully, because they're doing a panel at the Brazilian Comic-Con. Tom Holland's supposed to be there. He already landed. If you are on my Instagram, you probably already see me repost a picture of him in Brazil. And I hear Jake Gyllenhaal's there as well. So they're going to be doing a panel from 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll probably be getting a trailer at that point. So really excited. What we're going to talk about today, and excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold. So if I need to take a drink or something, I apologize. So what we're going to be talking about today is what we can expect, what we already know about these three movies, what we can expect from them, what we hope to expect from them, and what are some of the theories that are floating out there. And we love you guys to interact with us. Let us know what your theories are, what you want out of the film, and we're going to kind of go from there. So let's first start off and talk about Captain Marvel.
Wait,
which we got that.
so
yeah, go ahead.
we're not talking about Smash Brothers.
No, not talking about Smash Brothers.
Totally came unprepared. Okay, crap.
Oh, you came completely unprepared.
All,
this man is all about Smash Brothers. That's
all
he's been talking about.
That's all I've been doing for the last couple of days.
Yes, exactly. Nash villains. We will be talking about the difference between a teaser trailer and a regular trailer, which I think, and I don't know anyone else. I know this is not Captain Marvel, but I think this was a perfect trailer, the Endgame trailer, to start us off. I really do. I think it didn't give away any of the action points. It was exactly what we needed to just give us a tease of what to expect. I thought it was a perfect trailer. So yeah, there is a difference between a teaser trailer and a regular trailer. I can't believe anyone would be disappointed with that trailer. That was perfect. They just want. I don't know if people want the whole movie spoiled for them about 6 months in advance, but I don't. So
okay. So which movie are we talking about first?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel comes out
which
when?
Comes out March 8th.
March 8th, 2019. Wow, that's right around the corner.
My sister's birthday.
Do you think
it is.
Trailer?
We'll probably get one more trailer. They usually do at least 3 trailers. So I'm thinking right around February, we will get our third and final trailer, which will probably reveal a little bit more, but not too much, which I'm hoping to get because I loved what I've seen so far in the Captain Marvel trailers. The only thing I wish I've seen more of is Carol, actually, maybe like more of her personality. Because right now we get a lot of great one-liners from Fury, and we've gotten, the awesome mysterious cameo by Annette Bening, which we don't know who she's playing. And so I'm just but I haven't really seen much of Brie Larson, like what she's going to bring to the table yet. Just random, comments here and there.
Let's talk about that then. Let's talk about the Captain Marvel. We have 2 trailers. Do you think we'll get a third one before the movie comes out?
Yeah, I do. I think in February we'll get one.
Okay. Yeah. So far, I think that it's to me at least, I'm a little underwhelmed by the trailers. The first trailer was okay. I wasn't sold on her performance. And now keep in mind, I really like Brie Larson. I think she's a great actress. Is it The Room? Is that the not the
Yes,
Room?
That's what she won. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what she won for. Yeah.
She's phenomenal in that. But for some reason, her delivery of the lines in the second trailer, I don't know. I wasn't sold. Like to me, there's 2 things in that second trailer that bothered me. Number one, I got way too many Green Lantern vibes from that space battle when she's flying up. Like everybody's comparing it to the Avengers where Tony's fighting the Chitauri when they're coming down.
Yes. Yep.
Shot for shot, right? I got way too many just not good CG. And I think this movie has a less budget, of course, than Avengers, right? So
of course, yeah, because
that might be the issue. But man, sometimes you got to work with what you got, and I think they're trying to overstretch themselves. If they polish that, I think it'll be fine. But to me, right now, that looks not so good. That CG I'm getting too many Green Lantern vibes.
I think that's a lot of comments I've heard as well. The Green Lantern vibes, and so hopefully they're seeing these comments and maybe doing some tweaks to make sure it's perfect for the time when it comes out in March. That's what we can only hope.
Okay. And the other thing that I did not like, and this is kind of a big deal, is her. She's going to be carrying this movie.
Yeah, I know.
And her deliveries of her lines, it sounds like I don't know if it's a director's fault or, maybe they just used it for the trailer, because sometimes we use voiceovers for trailers. The director could have been like, because it really sounded like he was like, hey, we're going to call this in. This is not going to be in the movie. Just say this line. That's what it feels like.
And it may be. And Marvel uses a lot of scenes that are not in the movies for the trailers. So there's a good possibility that's true.
James Gunn was notorious for that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not, her deliveries were flat. And that whole line, which is supposed to be really epic, I'm not going to fight this war.
I'm going to end it.
Yeah, just, man, if I was the voice, like, even animation voice actors know how to deliver those things, right? Yeah. I wish, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And I have, if your whole movie is, she's carrying that movie. Of course,
yeah, and who knows? They could always do a redub, or they could, if that may not even be the one they use, because, for instance, in the Infinity War trailers, we saw Spider-Man deliver his infamous line to Doctor Strange. It's a different delivery in the trailers than it is in the actual movie. Now, I might be the only one who noticed that because I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, you really like that
movie. But it is a stark difference. Hey, Maddie. We're just starting about Captain Marvel, so you haven't missed much.
All right, cool.
But Nash Villains brought up a good point that that she's not going to be jokey until she gets her memories back. So that might be, maybe that's where we're not getting her personality yet in her.
Maybe her tone is very Kree-ish because she believes she's Kree.
Right? Yeah, I would
agree. So that would be probably a good. That probably would be.
I don't know. I don't even need jokey. I don't. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a good delivery, and I don't think that line, if they use it, is going to be when she still thinks she's Kree.
It's going to be.
I'm not going to fight this war, but I'm going to end it. Yeah, that felt really flat. I didn't. For somebody that's supposed to be empowering and the most powerful character in the MCU, right? Because that's what we've been told.
Yes, Kevin Feige says she's the most powerful one. Yeah.
Okay.
But Ben Jones is asking, how long do you think Coulson will be in the film for? That's a good question. So let's talk about, some of the things that we already know we can expect to come from the film. Like, we already know Nick Fury is going to play a part in this. He's a supporting character, a major supporting character in the film.
And may I add, just adding a wig on him makes him look like 30 years younger. They didn't even have to use any CG on his face.
I know it, crazy. But they still did it, but they didn't need to do it. So we're going to see a lot of his backstory, which is great. I think Coulson, he'll be in the film, but I see it as a small cameo, a very significant cameo, but a small cameo. I don't think he's going to have as much screen time as like Nick Fury.
Do you think we'll get any other cameos? Because I love anybody that has read comic books about time travel. No matter how many times you see it,
in the end credits,
you still.
I think we are. I totally think we are.
I just mean, like,
with how they already moved up.
You were saying, Amanda?
Nope, I think we lost. Huh? No, I think your connection was a little slow on my end. No, I was just I was saying, I think for sure we're going to get, if we get any kind of cameo, it's going to be in the end credits, because they've already moved up the date to come out in April for Avengers. Originally it was supposed to be May 3rd. Now it's in the end of April. So they've already moved up that end date. There's a very small window now. So I anticipate that whatever our end credit sequence is from Captain Marvel, we're going to see some type of cameo. And will it be Ant-Man in the quantum realm? Who knows? I don't know.
I hope we don't see anything about her and her involvement in the new Avengers film until her movie comes out. I don't want to see anything.
Yes.
I don't want to know how she fits in. I want to see the movie, and I want to know at the end of her movie. And that's all I want to know. Because I assume she'll come out and she'll go save, and we'll get to the Avengers trailer, but I assume that she'll go save, Tony in space, right? Like that's the most, that makes sense. Who else can get to him?
Pepper Potts.
With her rescue arbor. Yeah. No, I'm thinking that I thought.
Remember,
I thought she was going to
spoil that for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so did Gwyneth Paltrow, because she she did a selfie in that armor. There, if you go online and you Google search it, there is a selfie of her in the rescue armor. So she took it down, but obviously once it's captured on the internet, it's captured forever. So Gwyneth Paltrow kind of
I'm sorry. Let me clarify. When I meant by cameos, I meant like in comic books when people time travel, there's always these little things where you see like a young Tony Stark walking in the background.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Like things like that are so cheesy, but for some reason I still get a kick out of in the comic books, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
It'd be really difficult it'd be difficult to pull it off in a movie because they would have to spend money on CG to, make them younger. But it'd be kind of cool
they already
to see
have some of that built up already. It wouldn't even have to be like reshot things either. It could just be like a quick picture on the TV screen or on a newspaper, like those little right. Yeah, like a Marvel's or Kingdom Come kind of cameo where it's just there.
Exactly, like they pan a shot of Tony Stark taking over his dad's company, something like that. Really little, because his parents, that was 1990, right? That's when the car crash happened. So obviously they've been dead for a couple of years. I'm assuming this will take place in the 90s, not in 90. So we'll probably see something like that. And who knows? I mean, we won't see any Captain America, maybe, but
I better see her go to the mall and go to like natural wonders and Radio Shack and all these stores. All these stores that are long gone.
Teenage girl clothes, those big old pants, Okay, the Jinko jeans.
So it looks like
that's part of the reason like Wonder Woman got pushed back because since Captain Marvel's coming out next year and they're both like time period sort of movie. I wonder if they're like, well, we need to wait, give ourselves enough time after that movie comes out to know what we should or shouldn't put in, so it doesn't seem like we're copying word for word what they're doing.
Exactly.
She's gonna want to bring in stuff. They're gonna want to bring in stuff in this movie that's like, hey, we're in the 90s, guys.
Yes, that's how that first trailer was, right? Because she crash lands in a blockbuster.
Yeah,
which is very 90s. Except if you're in Alaska, they still have one.
Nashville said it would be cool to see Rhodes.
It would be.
It'd be cool to see Rhodes, but played by Jeffrey. What's his name again? The original actor that played.
Oh, you mean the guy from Empire?
Yes. That would be so funny.
That would not be. He would never come back and do that.
Instead of
Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you. Oh, that would take. That would take some guts for him to come back and do that, and some serious cash.
That would be just such a slap in the face, but funny at the same time. I don't know.
Yes, it would be. So what other? So we have Jude Law's also coming in, and do we know for sure that he's playing Mar-Vell, or is he?
It would seem silly not to.
And he's the commander of the Star Force, right? So we know he's Mar-Vell, and we finally are starting to see a little bit of him. He was in the second trailer. And then we also have Annette Bening in there, which I didn't even know she was in the movie until I saw that trailer. She seems to be some kind of Kree scientist. Is that what everyone else is? Oh, Nashville said he is Jan Rog.
Yeah, the toys revealed that that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It was a MCU that stays dead.
Pop figure.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And he should.
Okay.
He should. So we really don't know much. Like, it looks like they've changed her origin as well, because Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, has a very complicated story anyway, where she's been from her days as Miss Marvel to Binary to Carol Danvers to Rogue and Miss Marvel again, and then Warbird and all these. It's just such a complicated storyline that I'm sure they want to simplify it. Okay, well, she thinks she's Kree, or looks like there's a blood transfusion too going on, so maybe they've given her Mar-Vell's blood, and that's why she has these powers. Something simple, kind of like how Jessica Drew or She-Hulk got their powers. Something from the 80s or 70s rather. Sorry, how those comic book characters got their powers. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see what they're going to change in her origin. I like Carol Danvers, but she's never been one of those characters that has, pulled me to read her book. And I tried, because Brian Reed's run on Miss Marvel was kind of horrible. Captain Marvel itself by Kelly, what is her name? the Conic. That one was actually pretty good, but I never did finish it out. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they would do. You know, it's a Marvel movie. I'm gonna go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, if for no other reason, I think it'll be interesting to see how they work with a female superhero in her own film for the first time, because this is the first time we're seeing it, and we know people have had problems in the past with how they've done Black Widow. So I'll be really interested to see how they take her role and what they do with her, and then of course, you know, just like everyone saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, they want to know, where does this fit in with our overarching storyline, which is Avengers, the whole Avengers and Infinity.
I think that we'll find that out, like you all said, at the end or the end credit, wherever she's locked herself up because she's way too powerful.
Quantum realm, because she's going to save Ant-Man. How is he going to get out? He can't do it by himself. He got out somehow. She has the quantum bands, right?
See.
That's my theory. Someone's got to save that man's life.
Wouldn't it be cool if she's actually in those scenes that have appeared in Avengers Endgame? And this can be a segue. And they just CG'd her out, right? Like,
yes, they just took her out of it.
Like her standing behind Ant-Man.
Like this? When he's like what's going on? Yeah.
Right. It'd be kind of interesting if they do that.
I do agree with Amanda that, like, I think this is a really good opportunity for MCU to bring it around as far as how they portray women.
Yes.
I think they have a lot of awesome female characters.
Yes.
I think Guardians does a good job of it, but I do think when you get to outside of Guardians and outside of Black Panther, the women that we have in the Avengers and the women that are just around in the movies, with the exception of Valkyrie.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
She's great.
I want her own movie too.
I really feel like they could do a little better job. Because your main Avengers women, I like them as characters, but I think that they haven't done a great job with them as far as really making them compelling.
Well, it seems like because they're playing second string too, to all the male characters, and in a way, even Guardians
and Scarlet Witch should not. Oh, also, when we get to the Avengers trailer, or I guess like ideas for movies going forward, somebody in the actually, you know what? I'm just gonna break our conversation real quick and bring it up because I'll forget later. Somebody in the group mentioned that maybe. Or somebody in my Facebook mentioned that maybe it'll be like a House of M situation with Scarlet Witch. Now that like the movie franchises are coming together with mutants, where Scarlet Witch will have like a meltdown and then just blink mutants into existence. I was like, oh, that's a great way to bring all the mutants in. Like, that's really cool. Okay,
because we don't know how to continue.
I just wanted to bring that in.
They can, they can bring them in several ways. They can bring them in like they've done in comic books, like they've always been a part of it. Oh, hey, you're not really Inhuman. Actually, you're a mutation. These things have always been around. Something silly like that.
Surprise. Yeah. So let's talk now about the big one, the big movie.
Ben Jones is right. They haven't even called her Scarlet Witch in the movies.
No, they don't call her Scarlet Witch. They just call her Wanda the whole time. Yeah. Be cool for her to get her own code name. Because they give everyone else their code names, right? But she's the only one who doesn't seem to have one.
No, they have the rights. We could do that, right? Maybe for her show. When she's her in Vision?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Do that.
Probably. Her in the Vision show.
Her in the Vision show.
I don't know about these shows. But anyway, okay. So now, is that all you wanted to talk about, Captain Marvel? Was there anything else that...
No,
like
I mean... I think... Well, so the only other things I want to... What are your thoughts about... So these are things that I want to see for Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I want to see how Nick Fury lost his eye. And I want to see if this is somehow what started his whole thought process on we need this super powered team. Like, you know, he said he mentions it in the movies that it's something that he's talked about, right? And I want to see if there's a reason behind that. Like, did she spark something inside of him to that nugget, that idea, because of maybe the Star Force or whatever the case may be? And I want to see how he loses his eye. Those are the only things I want to see for Nick Fury's storyline. I'm pretty excited about both of those things to see if they come to pass.
Yeah, because that would be interesting. Because it could be that, like, you know, he witnesses the Kree and he witnesses Captain Marvel and he sees how strong one individual can be. And I think, you know, there's something really powerful about moments like that. And we've seen that in comics before, where it rallies people to make teams because they're like, we've got to have a group. So if anything, if you know, we're lucky that we have this really strong person, But if that person's really strong, there's also someone who's really strong that's going to come get us. So we need to make sure that like we're putting together these resources.
He talked about that in Avengers 1, though, didn't he? When he said everything changed when he showed up, and he pointed at Thor, and he was talking about the Destroyer when they showed up and fought in that town.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Maddie? What would you like to see in this? Like a proper portrayal of a strong female character. You've gone through that.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm hoping it's going to be like that. The experience will be for me like it was watching Wonder Woman. That's what I want. Like I want to watch this movie and at the end of it be like, oh man, I'm screwed. She's great. Like this is the end. Like that's the kind of feeling I want from it. So I'm hoping that they really make her. Just I don't know. I hope it's a good characterization of her. I haven't read much of her in the comics. I have a couple of her trades, and I've read her portrayals in other people's stories, and I haven't so far really connected with her. I appreciate how cool she is.
Yes,
how much of a badass, but I haven't connected with her as much as I've connected with other Marvel female superheroes. And I can't explain why.
Well, I think because she hasn't had a proper ongoing, like seriously, I'm like they tried, like she had her own title by Chris Claremont, which is where Mystique came in, but it didn't do that well. And then the Brian Reed comic from the mid-aughts was kind of not good at all, but the art was really pretty. And then they tried it again under the she wasn't even called Captain Marvel until
much later,
Avenging Spider-Man #6. Like of all the titles where she decides to go as Captain Marvel, it's like Avenging Spider-Man #6 or something like that. Something ridiculous. Whatever the hell people are flipping right now because of the movie.
I wonder if it's more than that, though. That's more than just that series, because I'm in love with her, with Phyla-Vell. That's her name, right? Who's
Quasar or no.
I love Quasar, and Quasar doesn't have her own thing, but she's like in 5 seconds into Annihilation, and when she shows up, I'm like, yes, that's my girl. I'll die for her, ride or die. But I don't feel that way for Captain Marvel.
Carol, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But I think this could be it, though. I think this could really, do it. I think it also could really spur in some really good stories after this. Because sometimes it just takes a really good movie, and it's like, oh shit, we've been sleeping on this girl. She deserves something really, really good. Yeah. So I don't know.
We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for too.
I just want my Easter eggs of a young Tony Stark walking in the background, going, "Hey, that's cool."
Where would he be?
I don't care, Amanda. You can plug people in all the time.
I don't think he knows what S.H.I.E.L.D. is yet, because remember, he finds out about all that in his own movie. So
hey, it happens in comic books all the time.
Maybe he's at that Blockbuster getting a movie for him and Lady Fred.
Ben Jones says that, and he hopes that in the Scarlet Witch show, they do like a love triangle and bring like Mantis into it and Wonder Man. Mantis and Vision and Wanda had a big thing because Vision cheated on Wanda with Mantis. I hope that doesn't happen.
I don't want them to do that to Mantis.
Different now.
She's too innocent.
In the comics.
It gets so insane.
I can't see that happening.
You say Wonder Man, and he is the spirit of the Vision. Like that's how the Vision got to be the Vision. They put Wonder Man's spirit. It is such a.
And then once Scarlet left Vision, she got with Wonder Man.
Yeah.
If you want to read actually a really good Wanda, Vision, and Wonder Man story, Kurt Busiek's Avengers is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes. And
keep that in mind.
Okay, so moving on. The big one.
Endgame.
What's the date? It's been moved up, right?
Oh, yes.
To April.
April. It's been moved up to April from May 3rd, which was the original date. So we got our first taste. We got the trailer. All right. And it was phenomenal. It was everything I wanted in a trailer. It gave us a lot of little Easter eggs. For instance, it showed like with that panel with you where you have Hulk looking at those hologram images. It showed Shuri first, and I think it was like her status was unknown, and then it showed Peter Parker. And you have Scott Lang, so they think he's missing. Then they have that archival footage of him at the front door, but is it real time or is it archived? We don't know. You have that awesome gladiator scene of Thanos walking in the field, his hand going over his grades.
Very artsy.
Very artsy. You have that rap battle look of Thor. He's about to rap battle Anthony Mackie in his hoodie. I mean, it was a great trailer. But we have Avengers Endgame. So what do we know so far what do we think we know so far about this movie? We know the original 6 are in it. The original Avengers are in it.
Mm-hmm. We know Tony and Nebula are out in space, almost dying.
Are they together now? And here's the question: are they together? Did they separate? I'm guessing they're together in that spaceship, but it's hard to tell if they're together in the spaceship or not.
Right. In the trailer, they make it seem like she ditched him because he said he's out of food. He's out of.
Yes.
I can't remember. He doesn't say.
But she's also like half robot or mostly robot, so maybe she doesn't need that stuff to survive like he does.
A hand showed up on his shoulder, like you could see Nebula there.
Was it his shoulder?
In my office, I
thought it was Gamora's. I thought it was a piece of Gamora's clothing or something. Like she was on the Guardian ship, and it was a piece of Gamora's clothing. And I had kept looking.
Oh, when he said we've all lost family.
Yeah, and her hand goes.
Yeah, it was the chair. It was that area. So I think they're together, but maybe the trailer makes you think that they're separated. I mean, there would be no reason to separate, and they're stranded out in space.
No. Well, I think it makes it more interesting too, because these are two very different characters that don't interact, minus that last scene, right? So I like the idea of them
hanging out together.
It'll be really funny and really sad because they're both just like, this is it, and we're together with another person who's just as irritating as I am.
Nashville said that he's totally going to use her body parts to rebuild his suit.
Oh, God. Well.
I could kind of see that. That happens in anime all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So what do we know so far? Well, we know the key players are all back in it. We see. I know people are upset that this trailer spoiled Ronan being in it, but seriously, if you don't read comic books, you don't even know who the hell Ronan is. All you see is Hawkeye's back and he's got a sword. Cool.
It's not even that. Even Jeremy Renner, if you even follow his Instagram, he's been posting pictures of that haircut and stuff.
Say that you don't even do that. Say you're just a regular moviegoer. Yeah. You don't know who Ronan is. You don't even know who Jeremy Renner is. You know that Hawkeye has a sword, and you're like, okay, cool. Hawkeye's back. That's all you know.
Exactly. And then, wasn't Ronan a pretty short run? Like, as far as, Hawkeye being Ronan. That wasn't a very long thing.
I don't even talk about that run because it was horrible. That was such a... Never mind, I'm going to go on a Bendis rant again.
It's okay. But I think it'll be very effective in the movie because we all could guess why he's gone this route.
His family's gone.
He's gone this route because his family's gone. And I think it's a very... I mean, I really like what they've done with Clint's storyline, giving him a little bit more in that Age of Ultron.
But how does it make any sense for him to become a masterless samurai? Like he's in Japan,
gone and he's sad.
Right, I get it. I would do the same thing, but he is an archer. How did we go from that?
I'll tell you how. Let's liken this to somebody else's journey.
Okay.
There you go.
Roy Harper. Okay, here we go. So, Roy Harper's daughter dies, and he's like, you know what? Screw arrows. I'm going to use an arsenal. Guns. Oh, man, what a cool name. Guns. I'm going with guns. Anything can be a weapon. Bam, bam, bam.
Okay.
That's just what happens. And it makes him... I'm really excited for this to happen to Hawkeye, because we're going to get some really good Hawkeye scenes where eventually his family comes back.
Okay.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think we will, and we'll get some good interaction between him and Black Widow. So it's going to be really interesting to see them together.
While I think I can in comic books, I'm okay with things like that happening because comic books, whatever. This redemption road that he's on because he lost his family. Oh, here's a sword I found at a flea market. I'm gonna go to Japan and kill.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I assume that there'll be some reason.
Explanation, sure.
Yeah.
He always liked samurai fightings. Okay. In all seriousness, here's the thing that you all brought up. So we do see Scott Lang, right? And we see his picture. So they think he's one of the ones that was taken, right?
Yes.
My question is, what determined who was taken? Was it random, or is it something that ties them all together, like people's blood types?
I think it's completely random even he says it in the movie. He says it's just, he says that that's how he wanted to do his lottery, was completely random, regardless of but I think it's random. I can't imagine that there's going to be some type of connection. I'd kind of be disappointed if that's what some kind of, because this is just a thoughtless, there is no rhyme or reason to it. It's just these magical powers, and it can just completely destroy. And there's no rhyme or reason to it, and that's what they have to deal with because they're used to dealing with things that have meaning, right, and things that have some kind of connection and a way to figure it out. But I don't think because then that takes us down a different story path that I don't think we're gonna go down. Because
I agree.
I see this as this is a
so you
time
just
travel. This is
random.
about time travel.
Okay.
Yes,
but
I think it's completely random.
But the fact that it's random, like Cap and Black Widow freaked the hell out more than I would have. He wasn't dead. He was just missing. Like he was just asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like the reaction they have is like,
but he was stuck in the quantum realm.
I
so
understand.
They probably assumed he was dead. Yeah.
No, but it was like, I can assume a lot of people are dead, and then when they show up, like be like, oh, he was just asleep. He overslept. Or he was stuck in Japan killing Yakuza. Whatever. Their reaction was more like, no, he's supposed to be dead. Something's going on here. That's why I said, are they seeing that people are disappearing based on blood type or something that links them together?
I don't know. Because then where would that... So I'd be interested if that was the case, then what would the storyline be? Because what we've seen so far, right, from set pictures is... They have something on their hands. Everyone is saying some type of quantum van that helps them travel. We've already seen set pictures of Ant-Man with an older Tony Stark in the Battle for New York from the original Avengers. We've see Cap's wearing his Winter Soldier outfit again. So there's all these questions as there might be some element of time travel, and I've heard theories that they're going to travel through time in order to get the stones before Thanos, so they can construct their own gauntlet. I've heard that theory. And there's just, I don't know. I don't know where would the story take them if that was the case, if it was blood types and they have to figure out a way to...
Oh, no, that's just a small little thing. I don't think it matters. All that matters is hey, we got Scott Langbang. Hey, comic book science, quantum realm. Everything is quantum. Let's quantum travel back in time and make a quantum leap. Sure, that's what gets us from point A to point B, and then we get all the cool little Easter eggs like, oh my God, we lost control of the time machine. We're going bouncing around through our different timelines, which of course, we all want to see. Like, oh man, it's when they first met. Oh, look at it's when they're eating what's it called, shawarma.
Shawarma. Yeah, for the first
or whatever, and they get to watch them, kind of like Back to the Future 2. You see the scenes from Back to the Future 1, but you see them from Marty's perspective from the future into the past. It all got confusing, but it all will make sense. Optimistically cynical. Get your son to watch a bunch of seasons of Kung Fu, and then tell him what unfortunately happened to David Carradine. That's how you teach him about that. Okay, so back to Avengers Endgame. I think that this is the teaser trailer is all I need. Seriously, who is not going to go see this movie that went to see the first one? I can't even imagine the people that are pissed. Like, even the people that are confused, like, wait, what's going on? This is stupid. They killed off all the characters. They're still going to go see it.
Oh yeah,
you have to see how it ends.
Honestly, I would be okay with this trailer.
They never released any. That'd be really cool.
Yes, me too.
Like,
exactly.
That's all you get. Still come see the movie. Sorry.
That's it. That's all I care.
Yeah, because they shouldn't show us any more until after. If they're going to do a second trailer at all, it has to be after Captain Marvel. If they're going to do a second trailer at all, because...
And that's really a month ahead of, like, before the movie comes out.
It's just a month. It's literally like a month. Yeah, it's a month and a half, maybe a month and quarter, not even, until that movie comes out. So
I would be okay with no more trailers, but we know that's not going to happen. They're going to take
that's Disney. Yeah, they're gonna
the Super Bowl Sunday to premiere that trailer, and everybody's going to go nuts. I'll be really disappointed if I see Captain Marvel. I want to be shocked. I want to be surprised. I want some, because that's, unfortunately, we live in an age. I was telling Amanda this the other day. I miss going to the movies and watching trailers. I miss going and experiencing trailers for the first time, because the moment something is released, we all text each other like, oh my God, Avengers is out. And then that moment is gone.
Is over?
You can't recapture that. Oh, it's called Endgame. Remember when that was such a big deal? What's the next Avengers title?
Yeah.
And then
now we know.
Just like that moment passes you, and you're like, now it doesn't matter. Now we get to talk about speculation. But going to the theater and seeing that for the first time, like, and then you go tell your friends, oh my God, I know what the next Avengers movie's called, and you don't. I kind of miss that.
Yeah. I like that. I have an opportunity now, like, to have people to talk about all this stuff with, because like the minute something like this drops, it's like this huge community moment where we all get to talk and excited all together all at the same time. It's like that scene in the Digimon movie where everyone's on their phones like cheering each other on all at the same time from everywhere. I love it. And it's the geekiest reference I could have done for that, but that's how it feels.
Yes. Yeah.
I went to go see that movie with my brother, and we were the only 2 people in the theater.
Man, it's still good.
Yeah, because they put 2 or 3 movies together, right? To make one. Yeah. Why are we talking about Digimon the movie?
I don't know.
Another episode.
Yeah,
okay.
But
hey, they time traveled in that, okay? That's how we tie it in.
Yes. But regardless, we'll probably get more trailers because that's how Disney operates. And that's how our world operates now, unfortunately, in the world of movies. They're going to give you enough trailers to shove it all down your throat until you go see the movie.
And we'll still be here to talk about it. So
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see Captain Marvel. I don't want to see any bad guys. I don't want to see the surprise Loki.
Well, but that's beyond Thanos.
For us. We know Loki's in it. Because those people
but it's a flashback. It's a flashback.
But the actor still shows up. It's things like that I don't want to know anything about. I don't, or like if they cast somebody like a young Uncle Ben to be
oh my God,
for Peter to relive that, And
it's Tobey Maguire. We don't.
Yes, there we go. Let's do some fan casting, Amanda. But you know what I'm saying? I want to be surprised when I go see the movie. Kind of like I think, sadly, Infinity War, while it was amazing, I kind of knew where it was going to go. Yeah. The only thing that I can say that completely shocked me was Red Skull. And that's not even that huge of a deal. Like, that's like, Red Skull shows up in Infinity War. That I should have been more shocked. I should have been more shocked that like Gamora died. I should have been more shocked that all these characters.
I think it's all very trailers. It was very predictable. It was. Infinity War is a very predictable story. I think if you read were shocked, I'm like, but even then, like, what did you think was going to happen?
It's a 2-parter, so he has to win once.
But people don't know that, right? Like, I'm just talking about average moviegoers.
They need to get good.
Okay.
They need to get good. Good point. Anyway, so what are you two hoping to see out of this movie? Out of Avengers Endgame?
A lot.
Are you happy with the title? Because I see a lot of people upset.
Fine.
Like,
yes.
Who cares? I mean, I understand. I shouldn't say that, but like, it's a good title. It is the Endgame.
It's been teased like twice in the MCU. First in Age of Ultron, Stark's like, "That's it, up there. That's the Endgame." He says it in Age of Ultron, and then of course, then Doctor Strange says it. We're in the Endgame now. I mean, they've been teasing that trailer for a while, and I'm happy with it. I mean, it is the Endgame for them. It is the Endgame for Avengers because once this is over, we have no idea where it goes from here. At least the MCU is concerned.
Oh yeah, we do.
So I'm fine with it. The only title that would have been better would have been Avengers Assemble. That's the only thing that would have been better. But we didn't get that.
That's what it's called in the UK, right?
Says it for you.
That's what the title is in the UK, Avengers Assemble. Like the original Avengers, it's called Avengers Assemble. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It is. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because there are some.
That's what I want to see. Thank you. I just want to see Captain America say Avengers fucking Assemble,
and I hope
for the first time. Oh, he has to.
He says it, and then at the end of the battle, he dies.
I'll be good with that.
I want to see. So a lot of people, you get all these, and you don't know who's spoiling what and who's sending off trails. But you had like, Josh Brolin had made a comment, or someone had made a comment.
I thought that's what it was called.
Yes. Oh, he said Avengers. Yeah. So some people made comments about seeing Nash villains talk about the older Cassie Lang. We know she's been casted. There have been talks that the kid from who played Harley. There's an older Cassie Lang. Someone was casted as an older Cassie Lang.
See, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. Cool. Do I have her name? Emma Furman. Emma Furman is her name. So she's like 17.
Stature, or is she going to be just an older Cassie?
An older Cassie, I think, like a 17-year-old instead of like a 11 or 12-year-old. And then I don't remember who it was, but someone talked about seeing all these people in the same room during filming, like Michael Douglas, people you haven't seen on screen together, like Nick Fury, Michael Douglas, things like that. So it kind of makes you wonder. A lot of people are speculating: is there a funeral scene? Is there a wedding scene of some kind? And both instances is Tony Stark, which I just want to see him die. And I want to, not that I love Tony Stark. I love Robert Downey Jr. But I can't see a more fitting end for his character than for him to to sacrifice himself. And I'm also a little selfish in that because I don't want him to still be that. I want to see Spider-Man get his own wings. I don't want him to consistently be referred to as Iron Man Jr. because Spider-Man is such an amazing character. He doesn't need to be Iron Man's sidekick. So in order for that to happen, I think at this point with how the MCU's painted him, Tony has to sacrifice himself and be gone from the franchise.
And I think that'd be a really good in Captain America, especially after and after their journey together and them butting heads. What a more perfect way to end their contract. Like,
agreed.
Either have them die, or have them just be done, retire, and they just show up every once in a while, but they're not doing anything. But that's hard to do. It's almost easier if they just don't exist, because how do you explain, like, why wouldn't they be around to help? You know?
Yes.
So, not to spoil what we're reading soon, but they could be left on an alternate timeline.
Yes.
To live happily ever after with Pepper Potts and kids and no superheroes. I'm just saying, you read enough comic books, you know where these things can have a happy ending and not just be death. Because as we know, it's comic book death too, or they can be brought back at any time.
Well, in MCU, no one's really dead, right? Everyone makes that.
But if you leave them in a pre-existing timeline where they can stay and be happy and be like, okay, you guys carry on, then you kind of get a happy ending.
Yeah.
And you get the new set of characters.
Bittersweet. No, it's bittersweet.
I got it. Okay, listen. So, in the trailer, Captain America, he's looking at his locket.
Yes.
Right? Looking at Peggy Carter. What if...
Oh, don't tell me I'm
they
already
left him in an alternate timeline, no superheroes, right? Where he gets to go right back to that dance.
Oh, don't tell me I'm going to start crying.
And that's what's going to happen. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so I would be happy with that.
Frozen, he could just live out the rest of his life with Peggy Carter and actually live his life.
Yeah,
yes,
and the funeral they're having.
Universe.
Oh, that's it. And then the funeral they're having for him is because he got stuck in the past, and then they're actually having the funeral for the old
one.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, we just fucking spoil everything.
Yeah, and then Nashville said Professor Hulk, which is also what I'm expecting too.
What's
think
Professor Hulk?
Isn't that where he kind of like the smart Hulk, right? Where he kind of merges the two.
Oh, where the Bruce Banner persona takes over Hulk's body more? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can see.
Because I think because they said they're exploring that more. Because I know the Russo brothers in the if anyone had went on YouTube, they did a viewing of Infinity War with Collider, and then Collider did an interview afterwards, and the Russo brothers confirmed that Hulk is not Loki in disguise. Hulk is Hulk. So everyone thought that it was really Loki playing Bruce Banner, but it's not. It is.
Oh, because they couldn't change.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to. Yeah, no, it's really it's still Hulk.
I think Hulk's got some PTSD.
Yes, he does.
Sad. He needs some
we're
time.
gonna see that. And we saw set pictures of him with one of those hobo sacks on his back. So I think we're going to see Hulk exploring himself. Him and Banner are going to come to terms with each other in this movie as well. There's a lot of character arcs that we're going to see in this movie.
How long is the movie going to be?
Oh, it's going to be it's going to be almost 3 hours. They said it's going to be their longest movie and the longest movie. Yeah. So. Right now, when they did one of their interviews, they said the runtime was about 3 hours, so it's going to be quite a long movie.
Okay.
I also want to see Valkyrie in this.
What happened to them?
Well, we don't know, right? So she's in the list of characters that we don't know whether they're gone or not. Mm-hmm. But she's supposed to be in the movie, I think.
Yep.
I haven't heard anything.
So I would like for her to. I think that'd be cool. Let's let some of our female characters that didn't disappear have some chance to do some really cool stuff.
Yes. Because
they're still here. They chose them for a reason, right? Because Black Panther's gone.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Liv Tyler come back as Betty.
Well, yeah, that would be interesting.
Or
if she does actually.
Okay, I didn't know Valkyrie was in it.
And Korg.
Yes, she is.
Korg's.
What happened to Korg?
I think they confirmed that Korg's okay or something. I can't remember.
Yes,
Korg's okay.
Because they went through a list of people and they said, did this person survive the snap or this person not? They said, Aunt May survived the snap, because I imagine that you're going to see...
Wasn't that a Facebook app? Check in, make sure you survive the snap.
They're at the Facebook. It was a quiz or something. Yeah, no, there was a quiz like that on Facebook. but there was an interview, I think a few months ago, where they had went through and they had said, undetermined, yes, they survived. Like, there's some people who are like, they survived, right? We're not gonna.
I
because it's
want
not a big
Quark
deal
and
if they did or
Valkyrie
not.
saving the day.
Yes.
Never gonna happen.
Doesn't want more Quark though.
Never gonna happen.
Give me Quark.
I want to see. Now, what I wanted to see in the first movie was something that I would have loved to have seen, and that was Thanos, whatever the hell you want to call him, punching Spider-Man so hard that he knocks him into 3 different alternate timelines where you see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Now they can do that. Now we can see an alternate timeline where Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's like, what the hell? Or even Ed Norton.
That'd be a beautiful cameo.
But I think
Norton as Hulk. That would be so
only
awesome.
Exist in Spider-Verse. No.
In my head. In my fanfic.
Yes, that would be really good.
Avengers Assemble. I want to hear Cap deliver that amazing line. I want to see some deaths that matter. That's I mean, this is Endgame, so everything's been leading to this. I want to see cameos. I want to see cool cameos of characters that you'll never see again. I'm okay with that, but I do want to see them. Kind of like the Red Skull thing. I'm still going on about that because that one really surprised me.
No, it was a great. I think that was perfect. Weird. And I love, and it's funny because in that same Collider interview, the Russos said they asked, were there ever any talks with Hugo Weaving, and they're like, there were talks, and they kind of like left it at that because I guess they did approach him, but he definitely probably
that was a myth. That was not even a good casting to begin with. As much as I like Hugo Weaving, no, that was poor casting to begin with. But that wasn't their fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
That was long before they took over Winter Soldier, or they came on board with Winter Soldier.
They changed everything. They changed the game for us. So,
anything else that you two want to see in Endgame?
I want to see cameos. Like, I want to see all these characters they're saying that are going to appear. Like, what is his name? Harley Keener in Iron Man 3. Ty Simpkins played him, and now he's like a tall 17, 18-year-old kid, the little Wonder Kid. I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
He's apparently returning. So why is he returning, and what kind of cameo is he going to have? I want to see how they bring Captain Marvel in. I want to and how did Nick Fury know that's who he needed to call? And I think we'll see a little bit of that probably in Captain Marvel. We'll get hints of why he would know to call her first.
I think the entire movie is going to show us why we need to call Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to see. There's a theory that there's the Soul Stone realm, which obviously does exist in the comics. We read Infinity Gauntlet. And I want to see if the Soul Stone realm is real.
Just a bunch of characters sitting around having a picnic in the Soul Stone.
To be free from the Soul Stone, hanging out. And I want to see. I'm interested to see if they are. It's going to be similar to the Gauntlet saga, where they reverse the snap and everyone goes back, and some people remember and some people don't about what happens. Because that kind of segues into the next film that we're going to talk about, which is Spider-Man 4, which is supposed to, according to Feige, take place minutes after the end of Avengers 4.
What?
So it's
really?
kind of, yes, that's what he said, minutes after Avengers, or Endgame. We call it Endgame, sorry. That's what Feige said. It's going to take place minutes after that. So I want to know what that means. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And whatever scene, Sebastian Stan was the one who said it. He was the one who said in an interview with Independent.
Who does he play?
He plays Bucky Barnes, for anyone who doesn't know.
Okay.
He said that there was a scene that took 3 months for them to plan, and everyone was there, like Sam Jackson, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer. So that's the scene that I want to see. What is this scene that took them 3 months to get everyone together to plan? What was that scene?
We just said it. It's the funeral of Cap. Old man Cap.
Old Cap.
Yeah, Maddie and I, that was our theory.
Okay, so that's what I want to see.
Okay, so, Maddie, anything else from this movie, or you want to move on to Spider-Man?
I think we can move on. I mean, I'm just excited to see everybody. I'm excited to see how it gets resolved, and I'm excited for some kick-ass lady moments because a lot of them are still kicking.
Yes.
That's about it.
Okay, all right, Amanda, take us on to Spider-Man: Far From Home.
July 5th. This is the one I am super excited about. Not just because I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I love Spider-Man in general, but also because this is the first film after Phase 4 is over. And we're entering a new phase now of the MCU where we have not a lot of details. We don't really know what direction they're going to take. We're not 100% sure on all the films they're going to have, especially with Guardians being postponed. We know there's a Doctor Strange coming, a second one. So this is the one that I'm really looking forward to because I want to see what direction they're going to take the MCU. So what do we know about the film so far? We know they are filming. They have finished filming already. They filmed in various locations overseas: London, Liberec, Czech Republic, and then in Italy as well, in Venice. So they're taking the kids on a field trip, is what it looks like from where they're going. It's a lot of the kids from the academic decathlon team, and I'm sure some other kids too. So it's probably a school field trip. And if you want to check out all the set pics and stuff, there's an amazing Instagram handle I follow. Her name is Official Marvel Girl, and that is where I found all this stuff, and I've been following her ever since. And she has every set pic and every spoiler that you can get for this film and every other Marvel film too. It's amazing. So we also know we're getting new suits for Tom Holland. We've already seen the stealth suit and his new black and red suit that they had him filming in New York City with Zendaya. So you're going to see a couple new suits as well. And I think there's, a lot to expect. And of course, Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio. And I think it was awesome that Jake Gyllenhaal created an Instagram account to finally confirm that he's playing Mysterio in the film with his little teaser video where holds up, I think it's like
it's so cute.
The 1989.
What do you mean I'm not playing Spider-Man? What?
Yeah, that was a great introduction. I loved it. And it's funny because we all know that Jake Gyllenhaal had been considered way back when to play Spider-Man. And I'm playing the PS4 Spider-Man right now. And I think that kid looks just like Jake Gyllenhaal. So all I see is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I agree.
When I watch it. Anyways, but yeah, so those are kind of some of the things we know. What about you guys? What else do you guys know? Or what do you are hoping to see from this film?
I know everything that you text me the minute it comes out, and that's all I know.
That's true. That's true.
Everything about this movie I learned from you. So I can't add much to the conversation other than the fact that I like Mysterio and they can go all kinds of way with this. Like they can have, with the particular character that they're using, we can see 35 different Spider-Man villains at one time. We can see a Doc Ock or a Rhino cameo because he can use his hallucinogens to just fuck with Spider-Man. And I think that would be kind of cool to do. We can even see maybe a Venom cameo, which I can't believe I went there.
Yeah, I can't believe you went there either.
And
I heard one rumor that the plot for Mysterio was he wants to paint himself as a hero, and we all know because we just read the Daredevil, right? So we all know that he likes this whole idea of the world's a stage kind of thing. The world is a movie, and this whole other 4D effect. And he paints himself as a hero by creating these scenarios where he can be a hero and there's a scene that they show him and Spider-Man are supposed to be fighting, and in Liberec, there's like a Ferris wheel, and I guess the kids are at a carnival or something, and I think that Spider-Man tries to stop him, and there's something that goes along the lines of that. I'm probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm just speculating based off of what I've seen. And so they're thinking that's how they draw some different villains into it, because we know that there's a guy named Newman Akar who plays Dimitri. That's all he's labeled as on IMDb, which could be Chameleon. His name is Dimitri as well.
Weird.
Which is the half brother of Kraven. Is that right?
Sort of. Okay, so but regardless of what their names are, I mean, we don't know if they're going to be these characters because I don't see this Ned Leeds becoming the Hobgoblin. Ever.
No, I don't. He's Donkey from Ultimate Spider-Man.
Right, that's who he is, and that's who he's going to stay.
That's all it's going to be.
They can name these characters whatever they want to. I think the funniest thing I saw was like, man, this internet is so ridiculous. It was a picture, actually, a video you showed me of Spider-Man getting hosed with water.
So and everyone thought it was Hydro Man.
Yeah, everybody's like flipping out. Oh, Hydro Man's in this movie. He's the villain, confirmed. And I'm like, really?
No, I don't know if that's No, I don't think that's the case because I don't see anyone who's been casted. Now, the only thing I think is we might see a Harry Osborn because there were some hints at casting a young man in his 20s who could potentially play lead against Tom Holland, has leading man qualities. They said, of course, any ethnicity, because we know the Spider-Man is not going by the ethnicities of the books or the comics necessarily. And they casted an actor called Remy High. And if you guys aren't familiar with him, he's in Crazy Rich Asians. He's in it's called Harrow, and he's in Marco Polo as well. And so has some leading man type of and so
he'd be a really good one.
Yeah, and so he's been seen in the filming. He's been there. So my guess is he might be a Harry Osborn character, or he will be Harry Osborn. And there's someone because doesn't Harry Osborn become the Hobgoblin too at some point, or can he become that?
He becomes the Green Goblin.
Yeah,
the Green Goblin. So there's a potential there. If we don't see a Hobgoblin, we may see the Green Goblin in that format. But he might be who I'm guessing would be Harry Osborn.
That's the SSX character that James Franco played in Spider-Man 3.
Oh boy, I'm sure he will. Hopefully. But yeah. So what else do we know? We also know that stealth suit that he's wearing has the SHIELD logo on it, and we've seen Nick Fury and Maria Hill filming in the same locations with them as well. So there's a hint that he might be working with SHIELD.
Oh, because Tony's dead
as well. Because Tony's dead, yes.
Tony's dead. We're just speculating.
We're just speculating that he's dead. It has nothing to do. And of course, there's the romantic aspect. We're finally going to probably see Zendaya have more of a role than what we were promised she was going to get in the first one. She's going to be more than just the one-liners. She's actually going to have some type of character development, I think, in this film, because there are a number of set pics of her and him together, talking, her and him swinging with him as Spider-Man. So whether or not she knows it's him or not, we don't know, but we already know she thinks she has her suspicions. And so we're going to see more of that romantic interaction between the two.
Do you think in this universe we'll actually see a Mary Jane Watson?
I'd be really interested to see, or maybe a Gwen Stacy or something like that.
No. They can always do a Gwen Stacy, but would they be?
Yes.
Would they ever do a Mary Jane Watson?
Like original character, true to the comics, Mary Jane Watson?
Yeah.
That would be really interesting to see if that would be done, especially if
their nicknames are MJ.
Yeah, both of her names are. It's like, yeah, that would be like a Parent Trap scenario. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know if they would ever do that. If they did, it would be if she'd be a cameo, if nothing else, or
probably,
I don't know if be a cameo, just be a fun little Easter egg for everyone, kind of like how the different students have been, like Betty Brant and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we know so far, or what I know so far about Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to see out of it, though? What are you hoping to see?
I don't know. I don't have any expectations for this, really, because I don't know where they're going to take it, because they're already doing things differently than they've done with Spider-Man movies in the past.
Yes.
Right? So there's no real story I'm expecting to see, because so much of it has been told. So I'm hoping for something different. I think, going with Mysterio was a really good idea for them, because we haven't had him in a live-action movie, I suppose. I never even read a Mysterio until we read
the last Mysterio storyline,
Daredevil. And then I watched, I had seen him in the Spider-Man cartoon back in the day, but that's about it. So I think, going with him is a really interesting choice. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is always a great choice for anything.
Agreed.
There's nothing I really want to see. There's no expectations. And I think I'm happy that's like that. I think if they're smart, they would, use this as an opportunity for Peter to kind of deal with his own feelings after having been in Infinity War and all that stuff. Yeah. Because I think that's something that, like, if you just ignore, the
what
feelings
happened.
he should have, and his coping and everything, because it's a serious thing.
Yes, huge.
And maybe it'll happen to where he doesn't even remember. It doesn't even matter. I don't know, but if he remembers it at all, I think it'd be very interesting.
Yeah, and regardless, if Tony does die, he's a mentor to him, just like Uncle Ben, or just, so there has to be some type of feeling there, and we have to see that. And Tom Holland is a good actor. So it would be a waste of his talent not to show him going through those processes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to keep a lighthearted tone, it doesn't make. I mean, we need to see the Spider-Man grow, especially if Sony does something crazy and decides to somehow put him with Venom at some point. The Venom we saw in the last movie is not going to go up against the Tom Holland we see now. We need to see him grow a little bit.
It would be kind of interesting to see that. I hope it does well. That's my that's what I hope too. Because I have a fear that this Spider-Man isn't doing as well as the other ones. And it wasn't like Homecoming didn't do as well as Venom, which is sad because it's a better movie. And I think a lot of that has to do with what we talked about, was the inclusion of, I know there were a lot. I mean, there was a huge movement against people being upset that these characters, their races had changed.
Yes.
And to me, it makes sense. Inner city public school, of course you're going to have a bunch of different races. They're not
living
in right. But a lot of people felt that was forced, and that turns them off. Then they're like, I don't want to see it. And so I'm hoping that this movie does well enough without people like that are very I guess Nick Fury being ultimate Nick Fury didn't bother many people, but then changing just about every secondary cast member, in from Peter Parker's comic book to different races, that kind of bothered a lot of people. So I hope it does well, because I thought the first movie was excellent. I really liked.
And
I love Michael Keaton coming back.
Oh, and he's coming back too. That's right. He's coming back in this film as well. Yeah, he is. He's confirmed he's coming back, so he'll be in the film as well.
Oh, awesome! Even if it's a small cameo in prison, with Scorpion or whatever, I'm okay with that. He's excellent, and it's funny because he came off of Birdman to do this movie, to do Homecoming. So that's why he turned it down at first. He's like, I just did a movie about a bird guy. I'm good.
But but he was perfect for the role.
He is a joy to see every time he's on screen. So I'm excited I didn't know that he was in it. That's excellent.
Yes. He'll be great in Dumbo too when that comes out.
But I think I'm with Maddie. I don't really have a lot of expectations in this movie because they're doing their own thing. I can speculate on what I want to see out of Captain Marvel and out of Avengers. But Spider-Man is kind of I have no idea where they're going to go, because in the first movie I had no idea where they're not borrowing a bunch of, they're borrowing elements from everything in these movies, and they're mixing them together from the Ultimate Universe, from the cartoon, from the comic book. So it doesn't I have no idea where they're going to go with World Tour. What the hell is it called? Far From Home. Far From Home. Yeah, World Tour. Idea. World Tour. Well, that's what it feels like, right? He's gonna go on a world tour.
Yeah. Well, and I at first, with all the different speculations, I just don't want them to do the Amazing Spider-Man 2 route and get bogged down with too many villains and not enough, and with bogged down storylines. I want to keep it very linear, because that was one of the faults that everyone complained about with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Was
Spider-Man 3 was that too. You had Venom, you had
Sandman, and
you had this crappy Hobgoblin.
So when you get too many villains, sometimes it bogs it down. So I'm hoping that. Oh, hey, Robin.
She's gonna put her butt in the screen again. Quit.
I know, right in the screen.
She loves making that butt cameo.
Yes, modesty. But I'm excited to see the film.
Now the trailer is supposed to drop today, right?
Yes, and
it was.
Like I said, I said in the beginning. Well, in the beginning of this segment, before you got on, Maddie, I was on Instagram. Tom Holland's in Brazil right now, getting ready to do a panel at the Brazil Comic Con.
Of course, Amanda knows where Tom Holland is at all times, though.
I do.
But continue.
So he's going to be doing a panel. There is a good possibility where Tom Holland goes, they're going to have some big announcement to follow, and that will be a drop trailer. Apparently, Jake Gyllenhaal is also going to be at that panel as well.
Oh,
so
that makes sense,
we're going to. Yes, and I'm excited that he's in this, because it's funny. Tom Holland apparently is the kind of kid who gets whatever he wants, because in an interview he said his favorite actor is Jake Gyllenhaal. He's always wanted to work with him, and now he's his villain. And then when he did The Impossible way back when and was at the BAFTAs, they interviewed him and asked him if he ever wanted to play a superhero, and he said, "Sure, I like to play Spider-Man like in about 10 years time when they reboot it after Andrew has his run." And he's casted as Spider-Man like 3 years later. So that kid gets whatever he wants apparently.
Well, Nash Villains just reported that the trailer has been delayed.
No. When do they say it's going to be delayed till?
I don't know.
I saw like 12/18.
That'd be good. I mean, we've had 2 big trailers premiere today or this week.
And it's a lot. Like, and I'm sure Marvel's like, give me a break, right?
Spacing them out.
Yes.
Okay, so is that all? Is that it, Amanda, as far as like Spider-Man Homecoming? Okay, here's my question.
That's all we got now.
Where do you want to see the Marvel Cinematic Universe go from here? I know where Maddie and I want to go.
Yes. I want Annihilation.
I want to see Nova. I want to see Quasar. We already dropped Adam Warlock. It would be stupid not to go the Annihilation route. And you can have Thanos come back as like good guy Thanos.
The good guy Thanos.
Well, remember they can literally link that to Avengers Infinity War. Because at the beginning of Infinity War, he was like, "Oh yeah, we just wiped out the Nova Corps." And then they can actually show those scenes. And then the Nova mind going straight into this poor loser named Rich Rider. And he becomes the Nova. And oh my God, we get a good Green Lantern movie out of that. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
I'm with you. I want to see this go into the cosmic realm. I want to shift focus from Avengers and New York City to, well, I guess you can't get out of New York City because X-Men and Fantastic Four. I want to see them shift focus from the big, Avengers has been your flagship title. Let's move that. They need to, let's see where we can go, because you got all these characters back, because they can now make a proper cosmic universe movie, because you've got the Fantastic Four villains back. You've got Annihilus. You can actually do Annihilation. You've got sorry, spoilers for anybody who hasn't read it, but Jesus Christ is in the same name title. You've got the Watcher. You've got Galactus. You've got all these characters that Fox has owned for so long that now they're back in your little sandbox. You can make all these amazing movies with these characters. And X-Men. Oh my God. You've got Magneto, one of the greatest, most complicated characters. Him and Doctor Doom. Shit, I'd watch a Magneto and a Doctor Doom movie. But anyway, that's me.
All day long. No, and Nash Villain brought up a good point. And this is what I thought when they said they were selling Stark Tower. I was like, Fantastic Four. I was hoping they're the ones who are going to buy Stark Tower. Because at first I thought Osborn. I was like, no, that might be too obvious. But that now they can leave it open, because they didn't say who it was. And now that they own Fantastic Four, they can say Reed Richards bought that building. And that's how we can get Fantastic Four. That's what I want. That's what I'm writing my fan fiction anyway. So that's happening in there. So might as well happen in the MCU too. Because I want to see the Fantastic Four. I want to see the cosmic, and the only thing I'm worried about with Guardians being delayed, which was our big introduction to the cosmic universe, I want to see how they're going to shift gears and what they're going to do about that, because that was how we were introduced to the cosmic outside. That's where we got our little Easter egg of Adam Warlock.
Well, maybe they're delaying it so they can, because they realize they need to set that up. So like, well, we need to delay this to make sure that we're doing this properly and really setting up this universe right when we get in it. Because I bet we'll go, and then that at the end of it, it'll be like teaser for Nova or something, and then it'll be like, here we go. Yeah. Here's Annihilation.
We're starting.
I want to see exactly what like they did with Iron Man in 2008. I want to see Guardians 3 set up what you said, Maddie, Nova, and then Nova sets up. Hell, they can even bring the Fantastic Four into this cosmic thing.
I mean,
they can set up a Silver Surfer movie, and then those 3 movies lead us into Annihilation. I don't know what they would call it.
I think that'd be good. I think bringing in Fantastic Four would be good, because, the Inhumans have a big part in Annihilation, or maybe not directly in Annihilation, but
later on they do in the War of the Worlds.
And that show bombed real bad, so let's replace that with something else.
And it could be Fantastic Four, which can be great. Yeah. And and that way they still are grounding it to Earth in some type of way too.
Yeah.
Because they're, our heroes on Earth. So I'm hoping that's what we get to see. And that's why I'm so glad they didn't name this Annihilation. I don't know who kept saying that was the title all those people are like, this is what it's reported. I was like, if they make this Annihilation, they're ruining a very good opportunity to use it for a very good story later on. That would be a bad move on Feige's part, to call it that. And I don't think that the Russo brothers, they love these comics. They're not, because even Joe Russo said if he was to come back and direct, it would only be if they did Secret Wars, which is the 1984 one, not the current one that we've read.
Not the Jonathan Hickman one.
Yeah, not the
that's
Hickman
kind of
one.
Cool.
That's cool. And that's again something else. It's with the Beyonder, right? So, who knows? We might see that down the road too.
Yeah, they can go all kinds of way, but I'm really hoping that they shift gears and move the focus over to other properties that they've gotten back. Avengers has had its heyday, and they can always come back with a new Avengers movie. It's not to say like, hey, we're going to leave these characters out there in obscurity forever, but we will eventually come back. And then, you can always come back with an older Chris Evans and an older Robert Downey Jr. to lead these young guns into new Avengers, if you will.
Just like Sylvester Stallone coming back and training.
That's right. Old Sly, he can never give up that role, even though he claims this is the last time we're going to see Rocky. But whatever. Okay, so is that it? Is that all?
Yeah.
It's a good time because my battery's almost dead.
Yo, no.
Right. All right, Amanda.
Yeah.
Your show. Sign us off.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys who were live coming in and watching us and commenting. And those of you at home, make sure to comment down below on if you agree with any of our theories, if you also are looking forward to the same things we're looking forward to, and just general thoughts in general. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Check out all the other shows on our channel. We have a ton, and we pretty much put out content every day. And as far as Reels Talk is concerned, next Saturday, be looking out for our Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review, which I'm super excited to do. The three of us will also be doing that as well. So check that out next Saturday, and follow us on all of our social media at our handle at NearMintCon. So thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday, and have a great day, everyone. See you later.
Bye, everybody.